What is up, guys? This is my 91 Nissan 300ZX. This one's a T-top. It came twin turbo from the factory. Obviously there's no twin turbo in it right now. Turbos are over there on the table, kind of broken. I have to get them rebuilt. But obviously this is a project, right? I bought it back in November and I haven't really touched it. I've been focusing on my other car that's mainly on my Instagram page, the convertible right here. But yeah, main reason I'm starting up work on this again is because Vivid Vinyl was kind enough to sponsor me. The convertible is also wrapped in Vivid, and you know, I guess they just wanted to work with me. So we've got a whole wrap that we're going to be wrapping this in. So I'll show you the color in a minute. First, I just wanted to go over like a few of the products that they sent me. Haven't used any of them yet. But I'll be reviewing them as we use them. So a few things they sent me. Their Blaze heat gun. I've just got like a $7 one from Amazon, so pretty excited to use this. It's probably better than the Amazon one, but we will figure out. Some edge tape. They gave me some of these magnet supports. These are really useful for if you want to be conservative with the vinyl you're using. You can just line it up on the car, magnetize these to it. That's not magnetic. Yeah, and you can cut out the shape of the vinyl, you know, to the panel you're working on. So it really helps you save a lot of vinyl. It's pretty cool. You got these little squids on them, kind of a cool design. But yeah, these are going to be great. I know I wasted a lot of vinyl last time I wrapped because I didn't have those, so very excited for that. So they sent me 4 total. Just some squeegees. Looks like there's different thicknesses, hard, medium, soft. I don't know. I never had options last time, so I'm sure I'll see how those help. A little pen for air release. It's just a really sharp needle at the end of this pen. You know, if you get like a really bad bubble in your wrap, I guess you can just poke it, let the air out. I'm not sure if I'll actually need this because at least that wrap had air release. I'm pretty sure this one does too. And air release just means there are like tiny micro holes in the wrap, and it's not like old school anymore where you'd have to pull it up. You can massage the bubbles out of the wrap now. Just little edge tools from them as well. Some trim pieces. I guess they actually made these themselves. Actually, it looks like they made everything themselves, so that's pretty cool. Maybe not the heat gun, but everything else looks like it's actually made by Vivid. And then these knives. They're both called the best damn knife. I don't know how they could both be the best when there's two, but that's that. I'm probably going to be using this one more. I don't really know what I would use this one for in terms of wrapping, but it's got a bottle opener on it, so actually I will be using it. And I'll bring a wrap over. We can actually go out in the sun right here to check this out. It's a pretty dark wrap. Should be able to see some of it here. Oh yeah. I'll go over with my flash a little bit. When the sun hits it, maybe not today. Anyway, it's a really dark blackish purple. And then when really bright sun hits it, it's got shades of, again, purple, but also red and orange. I've seen different batches from them come out looking different, so we'll see how this one looks on the car. Alright, so a general overview for, you know, what I'm going for on this car. Clearly my silver one's a show car and I just cruise around in it, so nothing crazy done with that one. This one is going to be a full-blown track car. Whether or not this twin turbo motor actually goes into it, I'm unsure. Like, I change my mind pretty much every week on that. But it will either be the OEM twin turbo motor or a LS1 going in here. Again, not sure. I do have the entire front end for it. It's just all over here. Only thing I'm missing on this car really is a front bumper. I've got one, but it's just super trashed, so I'm gonna get a different one at some point. And another, the whole thing is getting gutted interior wise, so if you want interior Z32 parts, let me know. I've got them all. I'm trying to get rid of them. I will sell them to you cheap because I want to get them out of here. And then shout out to my buddy Kyle. Actually, I picked this up from him last night. Just a fiberglass body kit. Gonna go wide body. Gonna do the front as well. I also have a big duckbill spoiler on the way, so this thing's gonna be thick. It's gonna look ridiculous. I'm hoping to go for like a cyberpunk kind of build. Gonna cut some crazy angles onto the wide body that wouldn't usually be there. Gonna cut up the rear bumper. The rear bumper's actually gone, but the metal underneath, I'm gonna cut it up. It's just gonna look really aggressive in the back. You're gonna be able to see a lot of the tire, and it's gonna have a really thick tire to fit the wide body. So that's the overall plan for the car. So in terms of upgrades the car came with, I have not personally upgraded anything on this. Like I said, I haven't touched it. I bought it in November, haven't done anything besides taking some parts off. Like I said, all the fenders, hood, and all that is over there. But it came with BC coilovers, which is nice. I've tested them. You know, the adjustment still works on them and everything. They're not seized up. I adjusted them. That's great. You know, that's a win in my book. And really not sure when this car was last on the road either. So that I was super happy about that. Other upgrades, it's got the twin cold air intake. Obviously both of them are not hooked up right now. It's just the one, but I've got the other one in a bucket somewhere. It's gonna take a while to find. And then it's got the Greddy intercooler. This is a pretty old one. I have heard that, you know, to today's standards, they're not that great compared to some pretty cheap ones you can get, even really just off eBay. So I'm probably gonna end up replacing that, but we'll see, I don't know. And it's also got a Calsonic oil cooler down there behind the intercooler. And I'm also just getting into JDM the past few years, and I know I never saw Calsonic on anything American Muscle, but I heard that's a little more old school. So I'll do some research and see if that'll hold up on the track anymore. Not sure. It's also got dual HKS blow-off valves right there and right there. Those are also the older generation of them, but you know, I'm pretty stoked on having older blow-off valves. I mean, it's pretty hard to break them, so I'm definitely going to run those. In terms of other upgrades you can't see, it came with a 6-putt clutch, lightweight flywheel, came with a auto trans that's over there in the corner, and a manual trans that's still in the car. It's got a short throw shifter already. In terms of the motor over here, so this motor is not from this car. When I went to go buy it from this guy up in Pennsylvania, he had a whole completely OEM donor car that the motor came out of, which is nice because, I mean, completely stock motor, stock car, probably wasn't beat on too bad, but it was in a rear end collision, so the whole end was just like destroyed. So we took the motor out. I've got this, didn't want the one that came with that car, had a spun bearing. So I'm gonna have to rebuild this at some point. It turns over. I already spun it by hand, or I don't know if it turns over. I don't know that, but I know it spins freely. I attached a wrench down there and, you know, got it spinning. The turbos are not completely seized. They're just a little hard to turn by hand. So I'm gonna go to Falls Church, get those rebuilt. And that is about it in terms of upgrades, I think. But so I'm thinking by the time it's done, I've got it tuned, I think it should push like 380, 400 to the wheel. Again, I'm not too familiar with the twin turbo motors, but we'll see. I'm hoping 380, 400, that'll be good enough to start me on the track. Next, you'll see me start to tear the car up. I'm gonna cut the bumper up, start the wide body, take off some of the rust. There is rust like in the normal areas of the Z32 right in front of the rear wheels. And then there's a little bit underneath the OEM spoiler. So I'm gonna cut all that out, paint to stop the rust from spreading, and then wide body and wrap.